Welcome to the one-shot episode. I'm still here with Patty. This guy flat out fucking refuses to leave my house.
I will never leave.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get out of here.
You're gonna have to force me, sir.
Cool. We just wrapped up the 40K one-shot, and I'll kind of like let you in on a bit of a peek behind the screen. I can do that now because it's not a campaign.
Yeah,
I can kind of give you secrets.
Yes,
the name of this is going to be The Incursion on Icarus.
Yes.
So what did you think?
Well, I was ready to see some Tyranids. I was a bit curious with how we were gonna fight them all. I wasn't sure if you were gonna toss in like crazy like synapse creatures, like hive tyrants and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Like
but,
a fucking titan comes through. Oh shit! I got a knife.
Yeah, actually. No, it was super cool. It was way exceeded my expectations, and loved it. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Stop it. Well, honestly, like as soon as I had this idea for a one-shot D&D thing, I wrote down a list of people's names, and then I was like, what would be the most interesting thing for that person?
Yeah.
And for you, I was like, immediately 40K.
Yeah.
It was either it was gonna be that, or it was gonna be a play off of like, good lord, did you ever play Pick of Destiny?
No.
So sorry, not Pick of Destiny. It was called like Guitar Hero something. Jack Black's thing, where it was like a heavy metal thing.
Yeah.
Basically, imagine Mad Max if it was in hell and Jack Black was the main character.
Oh, sick.
Fucking
Hell
brilliant.
Yeah.
But I was gonna do like that. But I was like, nah, I think 40K is gonna be good because I love 40K.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting in a room surrounded by too many miniatures.
That's true.
I've got orc boys. I've got some intercessors, and then I didn't need them. Black Templars.
I think you did, sir.
I did need them. Let's be honest. You can never have too many Black Templars.
It's can they?
It was on sale. I was basically making money.
It's true. It's true.
I've got an obsession. I've got a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can kind of fire back some questions within fucking reason. Because if you ask me too many questions, I will cry. But in the time like you've played D&D, right? Instead of like Baldur's Gate in-person D&D, in the time that you've been playing, have you had like a all-time greatest favorite moment?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, that demonic gate opening up in that episode would probably be up there. That was the most kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
That and when I missed that first shot.
Yeah.
And then they started hitting the ship. Like, oh, there is like a real chance we're not getting off this.
Yep. Sweet.
Thank God for that psycho. And he's like, oh, it might still go. I'm like, I hope so, dude, because I was ready to like open that door, man.
Because I had like this little failsafe. Like, again, as a DM, I can kind of chat to you about it now.
Yeah.
But like, I had this little failsafe where I had option B, which was essentially Caius was going to try and stop you from opening that door. Yeah, so you would have had to like somewhat fight Caius.
Yeah, okay.
And that would have given you enough time for the drop pod to land outside.
Okay, yeah.
So either way, it wasn't going to be like to the death or anything, but it was going to be enough to kind of like push against you a little bit.
Yeah. It was looking like dire straits there.
Oh, it was
like,
fucking bad, dude. I fully made that gun to be just OP as shit.
Yeah, that damage
but
is insane.
You missing a couple of shots, I was like, fuck. Because I couldn't give you like a plus 12 to hit.
Yeah,
that would be unfair. Yeah. But horde coming at you.
Yeah.
Let's get this turret, but let's make this turret explosive as fuck.
Yeah.
But then
I was half thinking, do I just aim for where they're crawling out of the mineshaft and try to collapse that?
Because the mineshaft was like 10 minutes sprint, like a walk away from you.
Yeah.
So there's no way you would have arced your shot enough.
And then I'm like, well, they'd have just wasted a shot. They'd just probably stressing,
dude. The fact the fact that round 2, I realized, wait a minute, you only fired one shot.
Yeah,
you could have had another shot.
Yeah,
I was like, oh damn.
Well, I wasn't sure if I got 2 shots. I should have asked, but I wasn't sure if it was just like this huge single round thing I had to reload it manually or something. Holy,
it's a fucking flintlock pistol. Shit.
You guys just hold.
Guys, I need
loading.
flint. I need flint. It's like, what do you mean? I need to set a fire.
Yes, sir.
No, not
super sick.
I think one of my favorite moments that I've had with you as a player is like we've done, like you've started a little bit of the campaign. You've started the city with us, but one of my favorite moments is during a one shot that I ran. I think you know where I'm going with this, but it was the fever dream.
Yeah, the fever dream, dude. It was a fever dream, wasn't lying.
Dude, holy shit. So in John's episode, the pirate one shot, where he has like the Galloway lock, that is based specifically off the room that you kept failing in. So you know how it's 3 consecutive checks, but they get consecutively harder? Where do you think I got that idea from? Because like making 2 checks is easy enough. Yeah. Technically, if you have a high, I don't know, modifier, you can kind of get away with it. If you don't have a high modifier, fucking good luck.
Good luck. Let's roll.
But the fact that it was a complete reset. And your character had such high athletics as well.
Oh my god! Yeah,
you need to get a DC 10. Yeah, sorry, I think it was a DC 11.
Yeah,
and you had like a +7 to it.
I think it was 7. Yeah, so easy, dude.
And you just kept rolling 3s.
My little dwarf, dude. Shit, I was ready to throw hands with that guy at the counter that was like, "Hello, sir," and like, I will fight you right now. Yeah. Just get me to the next one.
So I mean, like, I was thinking of doing a version of that for like as a one shot.
Yeah,
but. Knowing how long that took,
there's
not a
chance.
Did
take
not a fucking
long
chance. Because it got to a point where it was like 9:30, close to 10, and I'm like, guys, I love playing with you. Yeah. It is late, so I'm okay if you guys leave. I'm not going to be upset. I've had the most amount of fun.
We are not leaving this table until we beat this bitch.
You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up.
Sit down.
Roll damage. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, deck save. Like the character? No, you.
Actually, no, that would be a top moment where we kind of figured out how to fight that giant mage that you set up.
Yeah.
How we like grappled her to the ground and then put a silence cloud over that would follow, and we dragged her into the rope trick. I think it was. Yeah, that was sick. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
So the culmination of this was just the premise for the people who weren't actually there.
Of course, yeah.
So I had this little one shot, and it was based off a fever dream that I had, because most of these one shots are fever dreams. But I thought, let's do this little hotel thing, right? And this hotel concierge essentially is just this really frail, like almost dead, anorexic looking guy. You guys have to complete 5 rooms and defeat the mad mage, and if you do that, you get this huge prize, and then you're free to go. What you guys didn't realize straight away was that if you die, it's a complete reset. And it's a roguelike. So the rooms change, the magic weapons you find change, everything's a reset though. Every time you came back into the room, the concierge seemed healthier and healthier and healthier. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, every time you die. And he kind of like alluded to it. He's like, I just get a little bit of your soul.
Yeah.
I was like,
And for some reason, it was only my character that kept either falling off edges.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know what, dude. It was always my character.
Which is weird. You had the best athletics out of everyone.
I was a little Chad, and then.
But then eventually, I think it was like the 9th run. Yeah. You guys decided, okay, we're gonna fucking do this. You rolled for each room, by the way. Finally, get to the Mad Mage. Get to the Mad Mage. A little bit of, I bet you won't, you fucking pussy. A little bit of, you won't, no balls. And then you cast Rope Trick, and then the Rope Trick you essentially pulled her into, and then you like uncast Rope Trick, which essentially sent half of her body into a different dimension, effectively killing her. Yeah. Which was fucking great.
Good.
Which is a move that I've done as a DM to one of my players.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's fucking bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I was like, he was egging this NPC that I had on, and this NPC was like obviously super powerful, right? Yeah. I wasn't like super high level or anything, but it was very powerful. Rope Trick is not a huge spell. It's like I think it's a level 2 spell.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I had this like running joke where I was just like, dude, just back off. This guy will fucking kill you. Yeah. Roll insight. And he rolled really high, and I'm like, you probably don't want to fight this guy. And he's like, fuck it.
That's what you think,
kept pushing him, and then next thing you know, this guy like just gets into a full initiative battle again, NPC versus PC. And then I'm like, all right, I cast Rope Trick, and he's like, what the fuck is that gonna do? Nothing. What are you gonna go hide? And he's like, nope. Picks him up, pushes him halfway through, like chucks him into it. Oh my
god, yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll just be in a safe space. I'm like, no, he won't. He, using his like free action, dispels Rope Trick. And he's like, wait, on his turn? I'm like, yep. While you're halfway through. Kills him.
Cooked. Yeah.
Fucking killed him.
Bye.
And he's like, do I get a save? And I'm like, no.
Nice. Saving death roll.
As a DM, I did everything I possibly could.
Yeah, I warned you,
I gave you the hint. Are you sure about that? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure.
Like, I'm ready. Nice. So good. So I love finding out about those little niche tricks that you can use in there. I love it.
But I told Ben that, And then guess what Ben did to me? Little fuck.
Yeah.
But fine.
Yeah, no, super sick. Yeah,
My medicine tastes ass.
recommend. It's expired.
Yeah. So in amongst all the one shots that you've played with me, and like obviously the character that you play, Emo, is there a notable NPC character that you love or you completely hate?
Or in our campaign,
Just in
or
general.
In general,
Like out of all the one shots that we've played.
yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely do despise that like keeper in that FIFA
The
Dream one.
concierge,
Yeah, the
yeah,
concierge. Yeah.
Cool.
He's the only one comes from memory off rip that I had a passionate hatred for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was borderline ready to throw initiative at him just
In the hotel lobby, like even before one of the rooms.
Yeah, I'm squaring up here, sucker. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah,
Fair. Is there an NPC that you absolutely love?
some of those the arcane guys in the city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of those guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, off the top of my head, I don't remember all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was a good lord.
I think there was an artificer, and he was a bit like skitchish.
Real fucking cool.
Yeah. I was like, I like him. I don't know if that's just me being an artificer, and I was like, I like this guy.
And we're gonna be friends.
Yeah. I've got all these stinky, what are they? Grims around me.
Yeah.
I finally have some.
Finally fucking you're a real guy.
Yeah.
Sweet. I think, have I introduced you to Dale? Let me start off with a basic description. You might know him. 6'6".
We
Blonde?
have. Yeah, we have definitely.
Abs.
Yep.
Rollerblades.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember
Look at Shawn Michaels.
I remember he was like a fraction of an inch taller than John's character in the one of the one shots, and John's character was already really tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
Because I like asked him, I'm like, hey, how tall are you? And he's like, oh, like 6'5". And I'm like, oh, he's 6'6".
Yeah. Actually, him returning in. We had Mage Ball, and then I think we had another follow-up one shot. I'm not sure if we did Mage Ball again, but he returned.
Oh, yes,
and he came back as like the Chad end dude, and I was like, holy, that's sick.
I'm pretty sure like Mage Ball, which I hopefully will run a one-shot of.
Yeah.
Because I love that game so much.
Good. So good.
Doesn't need to get tweaked. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
it's a game.
Completely balanced,
Pissed
dude.
off.
Yeah.
But I find that Mage Ball, so after winning the tournament, the second one-shot after that was the follow-up to that.
Yes.
And you guys won, technically, but then you guys are in the finals, and as you approach the finals, the opposite team just gets obliterated.
Yeah,
and you're like,
smashed.
what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, what the hell?
And then this hooded figure shows up, and you're like, are those fucking rollerblades? And he pulls off his cloak, and there he is.
Son of a bitch, he returns. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Yeah. That was another sick moment in Mage Ball. It seems like a pretty passive game, similar to soccer. It's all pretty friendly.
Yeah.
There was one lot of
you
opponents.
haven't played soccer with me.
Yeah, hey, yo. There was one team that we came up against, and one of them stabbed one of our other players, and we're like, hey, you can't do that. And Judah hits us with a, yeah, they can. So we're like, alrighty. And I think we just ended up killing the enemy team. We're like, fuck these guys. Actually,
The whole
that was
idea
sick.
is the whole
Yeah.
the whole idea of Mage Ball is it's supposed to be essentially kind of like
Quidditch almost.
yeah.
Or something.
Have you played like Bloodsport?
No.
Blood Bowl. Sorry, Blood Bowl is like a version of 40k, which is just gridiron for Warhammer.
Oh, right.
Which is
yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I was like, how do I do that, but in a smaller scale with D&D because there's magic.
Yeah.
So I made a version of that where it's like netball rules. Like you can only go so much and you can only shoot from so far away.
Yeah.
But then halfway through it, I was just like, fuck it. Like, I haven't done this yet. I'm just going to attack my PCs. And they're like, wait, what? You can do that? I'm like, yeah.
I thought it was a friendly game.
It's like, no, you can't. I can. It's like, wait, what?
What the?
Wait, the DM is against us?
Yeah. And I think the game after that, we were like amped and ready, and they were like this poor little zombie squad. Like they could barely move. We were just kind of pinning them to the ground. Oh, I loved it.
Like,
yeah,
it's like, fight back,
yeah,
please.
honestly.
Oh, it's not fun.
Yeah, no, super sick. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, following along with that kind of stuff, like veering off D&D just a little bit, what initially got you into fantasy?
Well, I don't know. There's always been like movies growing up, like I don't know, like Aragorn and things like that.
Even though objectively, shit film.
Oh, yeah.
Great books.
Yeah.
Shit film.
Yeah. As a little kid, I'm like, oh, dragon, sick, dude. Yeah.
Brom was a good character.
Yeah.
I love
Brom
Brom.
was Chad. Tragic.
Everyone else was fucking You say tragic? R.I.P. bro.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen.
Spoiler alert for
Super
a 15-year-old
fan.
Spoiler alert for Citizen Kane.
Yeah, actually. But no, things like that, like Lord of the Rings, like later on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I've always kind of, I don't know, dragons and stuff are cool.
Yeah.
Dragons, wizards, slaying shit.
Do you tend to kind of fall into fantasy that has dragons as like a default? Or do you just...
Maybe when I was younger, not so much anymore. Nowadays, it's a lot more like eldritch horror and like Lovecraftian stuff.
Yeah,
That's super intriguing for me. So
I think you might really like Hayden's episode when it comes out, because that's releasing. So I mean, peek behind the screen, we're recording in batch, that way I can kind of release a little bit more. But Hayden's is set for, I think, early next week. So start of December 2024. You might like that.
Keep an ear out. That'll be sick.
I hate horror films. Fucking hate horror films, because my mind is just way too overactive.
Fair.
And so I'll look at a shadow and go,
I was about to say, there is a feeling you get in your house when you're like, especially living on your own now, that like you walk through, like I'll have nights where like I'm checking the back door and all the lights are off. I'm like, I mean, this is pretty chill. I'm like, I've definitely been in this situation post horror movie and this is not comfortable, dude.
There is this movie called Nefarious that you should definitely watch. Because it is the most accurate representation of what a demonic possession looks like. No jump scares, no nothing. But you're just so like uneasy the entire time. Like essentially this psychologist has to go into the death section of a prison. So he goes to the death unit, and this guy basically goes, the warden just talks to him and goes, hey, this guy is pretty fucking possessed. He's pretty bad, but he claims that he's possessed, right? Essentially, we brought you in here as a psychologist. If you think he's possessed, we can't kill him under the death penalty. Okay. But if you think he is possessed, so if he's not possessed, we can kill him. And so, he's like, oh, cool. Easy money. Possessions don't exist. He walks in and instantly the guy's like, hi, Jonathan. And I'm like, oh, hell. How the fuck did you know my name? And he's like, before you leave here, you will be responsible for the death of 3 people. And he's like, wait, what?
I'm out. Here's my resignation.
Literally. Halfway through it, the possessed guy like turns to him and he goes, where's your partner right now? And I was like,
hell no.
And he's like, what you're about to do is sacrifice to us. And he's like, what do you fucking mean? How do you know shit? As he instantly runs outside because his partner is right now at an abortion clinic.
Oh, shit.
And she's about to abort the child because he doesn't want to have children.
All right.
And he goes and tries to like stop it. Too late. And as he comes back in, the guy who's possessed like looks at him and goes, that's 1.
Oh, hell.
And
I could have had twins,
dude,
please.
Fucking A, man. It gets so creepy. Like halfway through it, like he essentially right at the end of the film, the psychologist basically goes, nah, this guy is not demon possessed, kill him.
Oh, really?
And so that's the third body, right? That's the third body that he gets. But as he does that, the prisoner essentially is allowed one final meal. And it's like, hey, can you just make me a double cheeseburger? It's like really important to me. But right as the guard is about to walk away, the demon possesses him and he goes, actually, we're not hungry. And then it flips back. He's in the cage and he's about to die. And he's like, hey, I never got my meal. And he's like, yeah, you said you weren't hungry. And he goes, but I am. And he starts crying. And you're like, oh, fuck.
That's brutal,
it just psychologically breaks you know? So that's the kind of movie that I'll watch and I'll be like, good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But anything where it's like jump scares, I'm like, fuck this. Have you watched Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, actually, no.
Dude, my father put the movie on.
Well, that one, how old were you when your father did this?
Too young. Put the movie on, went to the other room because he had shit to do.
Oh, hell no. Dude, that one's extra fucked because it's like all in your dreams, dude. You will not sleep, dude.
I didn't. For such a long time, I didn't. Because the worst part is like, when there's this part where Johnny Depp's character has like headphones in and he's trying to keep himself awake, falls asleep, and the hand comes out of the bed, like Freddy Krueger's hand comes in, grabs him, pushes him into the bed, and then just a spurt of blood. To this day, when I'm on my bed, I will not have headphones on.
Yeah, fuck that.
To this fucking day. I'm not scared.
Thanks,
I'm petrified. I'm fucking petrified.
Yeah, I love that. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any kind of scary films or films of that kind of horror genre that you like?
Not really. I like the concept a lot more than the movies themselves, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Because a lot of horror movies aren't that great.
Ah,
They're all
fucking ass.
all cheap jump scares and shit.
I reckon if they ever tried to do like an actual Cthulhu by the book Cthulhu,
Yeah.
it would pop off.
Oh yeah, it'd be
Because
insane.
you don't know what Cthulhu looks like. You get a description, but you don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, there's a really cool episode of Love, Death and Robots, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And there's Cthulhu in that,
Yeah.
and that was really cool to encapsulate like the insanity that engulfs you really when you come into contact with it.
And that's the whole point of the Call of Cthulhu. It's not so much that this demon is like coming through, or the great old one.
Yeah.
It's not like it's coming in and just mushing your fucking brain physically. It's more so no. Psychologically, it's gonna fucking snap you like a fucking twig.
Yeah. And like half of the entities in that verse you can't even like comprehend. Them.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah, I love it.
Sweet. So turning almost 180, going back to Warhammer, you mentioned, you did mention Tyranids.
Yes,
How did you feel having to fight Tyranids, dude?
It's always bittersweet. No, I do enjoy it. I like seeing how they kind of operate and that. So yeah. No,
Is there
I
a
love
reason you picked Tyranids?
Well, in StarCraft, I played Zerg, so
okay.
that's the start. I love the whole swarm aspect. I love like extraterrestrial bugs. I remember there was a show on ABC3 when I was growing up, and it was Dex Entomology or something like that.
Oh yeah, cool.
And his whole job was going out and exploring aliens, and they were all bugs.
Oh, sick.
So there was stuff like that that's always been super intriguing to me. So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
So like, do you know like the movie Aliens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Thought so.
Sick.
Yeah, brilliant. You're gonna love John's episode for me then, because he ran a xenomorph alien episode for me.
Sick.
Yeah, fucking great. Okay, so Tyranids being your, let's say, your main army, who would be your second main?
Oh, that is an awesome question. There are some pretty sick factions.
Would you go through with Xenos again, or would you go through Imperium?
Well, I'm gonna say Xenos.
Yeah.
Orcs.
Yeah, cool.
They play a lot different. But actually, making my Eldar character, Eldar are super sick as well.
Dude, hell
they just get shit on in the story so often.
Yeah.
But their Phoenix Lords are like some of the most epic characters, dude.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening to the 40K Lorecast, and I love John and Brad. I fucking love them, right?
Bless them.
But part of like the whole Eldari thing is they were next to, like, right underneath like the Catan, I think, in terms of power.
Yeah, they were like galaxy-wide dominance.
So
like
good.
there was no one who could touch them.
And then they started getting fucking ass, dude. They got absolutely handed just the worst deck ever. They're just like, oh, they're like, we'll play blackjack. All right, cool. You got a 2 and a 2. You're like, oh, what do I do with
Beg
this?
your pardon?
I don't fucking know.
What the hell? Yeah.
You got a 2 and a 2. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, but I can't play with this. You play the hand you get. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Eldar. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
cool,
Eldar cool. But
Yeah.
Imperium it'd be what are they? Sanguinius' boys?
Sanguinians?
No, like his husband's blood.
Good lord.
I can't believe I'm mind blanking.
You're right.
They're not the Blood Ravens. They're a sub thing.
Not the Blood Angels.
Blood Angels.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
there
it.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blood
yeah.
Angels. I do like the Blood Angels. Dante and the boys is pretty sick. Mephiston.
Blood Angels are quite fucking good.
Yeah.
Just
I love
that-
the whole like vampiric aspect to them as well. They're
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Because like all throughout 40K in the books, you read how they have so many gene implants and whatnot, and they get multiple organs. But the best part about it is they can every fucking Space Marine can spit acid.
Yeah.
Not one of them does.
That's so wild. I keep forgetting about it, and people will throw it in. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they
I
just
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the reason I bring that up is because some Marines can actually eat their enemies and gain knowledge.
Yeah, that's
whereas
exactly what
the
they
Blood
do.
Angels are just like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Actually,
Wait, I'm gonna suck this guy up. He's like, wait,
Whoa.
what do you mean by that?
Yeah. Pause.
Wait, you said you are going to. Okay, I'm reading through your notes here from the mission. It said, and then I sucked him dry. What do you, Dante? Do you want to explain to me what that means by sucking him dry?
Getting it on his knees. Hey, yeah, whoa.
Brother,
Yeah.
brother, you don't understand.
I have to, brother. Yeah.
Where did you bite him? Oh. Brother, do not make me answer.
God.
Did you? Was it in the neck? Was it the arm?
We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. If you could please take a second to leave a comment and rate the show, it would help us out a lot. If you want to discuss more about this episode and stay up to date, then consider joining the Discord and following us on Instagram. You can find links to both in the show notes. And with that being said, let's get back to the episode.
It was a vascular area, I'm sure.
Brother, no.
Say it.
Dude, don't make me say it, brother. Don't make me say it.
Heresy.
Yeah. Heretic. Heretic.
Heretic. Yeah. Nah, how good, yeah.
Cool.
Who would you play? Who would
Dude,
your
hands
MVP?
down, Black Templars.
Black Templars,
Are you
yeah.
fucking
They're the
kidding me?
boys,
The
yeah,
black,
dude.
like,
Yeah.
I love the Knights Templar, mainly because they were this badass organization. I mean, like, in real life, absolute assholes.
Yeah.
But just the lore around them, how they, you know, have found like the Holy Grail and shit
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
that to me is fantastic, you know? I love getting into that kind of lore of just ancient shit. But Blood Angels, the fact that Blood Angels, how I like to perceive them, are basically A to B. This is your mission, get it done.
Yeah.
It's basically, well, fucking get her done.
Yeah.
How are you going to get it done? Don't worry about it.
Send in the they're not the Death Watch, they're Death like guard.
First Legion?
The Blood Angels that fall to the red or the black thirst.
Oh,
Where,
yes,
they,
yes,
where they
yes.
see everyone as Horus and there's
Yeah, yeah.
Sanguinius dying.
Yeah.
And so they go insane. So they're
Oh,
like,
the
well,
Bloodthirst?
yeah, they're like, oh, well, they're still alive and they're
Yeah.
useful. So we'll just like knock them out and we'll put them in a ship.
Yeah.
And then to start battles, they'll fly that ship over and just drop all these like insane
Yeah.
bloodthirsted
Yeah.
Marines at
And
them.
they're just running
Yeah,
wild,
and they'll
just
just
bang,
rip
bang, bang,
everyone
bang,
up. Like, okay, they're dealing with that. Let's go, boys. Yeah.
Oh, Dante's sucking him again.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Jesus, we're not even
I
here
feel
for
like
our
this guy
2
isn't
seconds.
insane.
Yeah.
He's not insane. He just acts like he is.
Oh, no, guys.
I saw him doing Sudoku before he landed. Yeah. So, oh no, not again. Don't make me suck your
no,
blood.
I guess I have to.
Like, you don't have to. It's like, guess your pants are coming down. It's like,
force my hand. Oh.
you're forcing your hand, dude.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Get
Oh,
away
no,
from me. brother, stop.
No, how good, how good.
Yeah, I would probably definitely just I main Black Templars.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like I'm even painting my intercessors in Black Templar, right? But if I had a second, it would definitely just be the Death Watch.
Yeah,
the fact that it's basically like purgatory for Space Marines.
Yeah.
Dude, and they just take anyone from anywhere and they're just like, no questions asked. You join us. We are the kill team above a fucking kill team.
They're like the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones, yeah. They're just
holy
like elite
shit.
dudes holding
Yeah.
the line, yeah.
It's just like you don't talk about the Death Watch. It's either like blasphemy to talk about them or it's the greatest honor. Because if someone is in the Black Watch, sorry, if someone is in the like the Death Guard or the Death Watch, sorry, not the Death Guard, that's completely different.
Yeah.
Plague.
Stinky boys. Yeah.
Is that pus?
No, it's a maggot.
Dante, get away from that. Dante, get away from that.
Keep it away, dude.
Or not again. It's like, ooh, is that pus or are you just happy to see me?
Lock him up. Get him away from it.
Yeah, no, I find that because they're such an elite squad. I like the whole idea of we don't care what you did in your past. You are here to write your name and you are going to stay here as long as it fucking takes.
lock
It's
in.
basically detention on steroids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's detention, but you still get to fire a bolter.
Yeah, true. If you're fully armed, yeah.
Like the fact that when Space Marine 2, for example,
yeah.
when Titus came out in like Death Watch armor, I just went, fuck, this is a good game.
the drip is
Yeah,
unreal.
this is
on
an
those
insane
guys.
game. And
Yeah.
then he had to be saved. Like, do I?
He had that kind of
Yeah,
effects, dude.
dude,
Come
look,
on, man.
there is no other place for Titus than the Space Marines.
Yeah.
They're the boys in blue. He is such a fucking ultramarine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Through
does
and
he
through.
fit into Death Watch? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's such a blue boy.
Yeah.
He's such a little blue boy.
He's got those colors on, yeah. Yeah.
These colors don't run.
Yeah,
Like,
actually.
all right, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's it.
speaking of that, one of my favorite little reveals through that. I mean, apart from like the Emperor's voice, which I thought was fucking legendary.
that was mid.
Caligar walking across. Loved
Oh
it.
my god.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved
Calgar's
it.
built different.
The fact that just a Lord of Change appears, right? Casts a spell, basically puts everyone in stasis, and like obviously you see Titus and his crew hanging behind a wall so they don't get hit by the wave.
Yeah.
So they're still, operable. Explaining to you like you haven't played this game.
Yeah.
But my favorite fucking moment is where they turn around, they see Calgar just fucking marching through.
He's like stomping on like the occasional little Zango. Like, that's cool, dude.
Fuck. And I'm like, no way he just walks through that, right?
Yeah, there's like a portal to another dimension. No clue how to get back or anything. Just straight in, dude.
And he's just like, I'm gonna walk through.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you? We're not gonna follow him, are we? And then it's a cutscene, so you just do. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I guess we're here now.
Yeah. And then the bad guy, when you get in there, he's like, oh, like I've got your like captain here, and he like shows him he's completely fine. He's just mowing everything down.
Yeah, doing what Calgar does, and I'm
completely
like,
fine. Yep.
yeah, that's Calgar.
That's him. That's my boy.
Like,
yeah.
The only other thing that would have made it game of the year for me, like it's already pretty high. Like that's the only game that I'm maining right now. Because I fucking love Space Marine.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting 13 years for this, all right?
Yeah. Goddamn. What?
Let me live.
No.
Shut the fuck up. It's your internet has disconnected.
Yeah.
Turn it back on.
Please get off the game.
Turn it back on.
I haven't eaten in 3 days, please.
I'm just calling everyone a fucking noob on that. But my favorite thing, if it had happened, I would have instantly just paused the game and not come back to it because I'm like, I don't want to see the rest of this.
Yeah.
If Rabute Gilliman walked out,
Oh my god.
done.
Yeah.
If Rabute Gilliman walked out and Bobby G just shows up next to Calgar,
Yeah.
done.
Wouldn't
Game
even
of the
have
year.
to be that. It's just he sees like his foot land and his sword ignite. Oh my god, it'd be over. Oh
Like
my god.
Rabute Gilliman's armor is so distinct.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's like
it's. Would you say the blue and gold is almost Thousand Suns esque?
yeah, definitely the gold. He has so much decal on his whole set.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
he
ridiculous.
looks like someone just grabbed like a bunch of gold chains and then just like threw it.
Yeah.
And they're like, there, that's a model.
Look at him
Yeah.
go.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, that is my boy.
Yeah.
That is
I
my
like
boy.
it a lot. Yeah.
I'll take 2. Actually, I will ask you this question.
Oh, God.
That's what a good host does.
Oh, yeah,
Who
so
is
good.
your favorite Primarch? Oh. This has just become the 40K
Yeah,
lord.
actually, yeah. My favorite Primarch. I think Corvus Corax. I think he's like super underrated. I love him.
The white boys?
Yeah, dude.
Get out of here.
Nah.
Corvax?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why
He's a-
Corvax?
Well, his whole life's been pretty fucked. A lot of them have been.
Yeah.
But he had to put down his majority of his Space Marine like band because of their gene faults. That was super tragic for him. And then he thought, fuck it, I'm gonna embrace the chaos in me.
Yeah.
And he goes and flies into the Eye of Terror to become what I reckon is a demon of order.
Yeah.
And so he's some like sick like crow demon thing.
Yeah.
And I hate Lorgar, so he's getting
fuck
collapsed
Lorgar.
by him. I love it.
Lorgar is the reason the Horus Heresy even began.
Oh,
and
he can
Lorgar
burn,
is
dude.
such a petty little shit. You know that little whiner in the class? It's like, teacher, you forgot the homework. Shut the fuck up,
Bitch
Lorgar.
ass suck. Yeah.
Lorgar,
Yeah.
see yourself out. All right?
See you
You've
later.
obviously stayed too long. Read the room. No one fucking likes you.
Yeah.
That's me just bitching about Lorgar for a little bit. That and Magnus, fucking hate Magnus, dude. Magnus is a little shit.
I saw an animation of the Horus Heresy broken down into like the first like minute, and it's Magnus having a bad dream, and Horus is like, I'm evil, and he's like, I gotta tell Dad, and he like calls him, and the Emperor's like, ignore. He's like, I really gotta tell Dad. He just like breaks a hole into the webway, and he starts like, what are you doing? He's like, this is evil, and then everything blows up.
I really need to chat to you. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, what the fuck
Get
are you
the
doing?
fuck out.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird. Because like he thinks he's doing the right thing by going to the Emperor.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, there are some pretty bad people outside, and he just literally like face palms him. Get the fuck outside. Like I don't want to chat to you right now. It's like, oh, but like Horus is shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Magnus. But Dad, Magnus, I swear to God, one more,
Fucking God.
and I will order Johnson to come in and bitch slap you. Shut the fuck up. So he does send Magnus away, and then to answer my favorite Primarch,
Who is it?
dude, has to be the Lion.
Oh yeah.
Are you
As
fucking
if,
kidding
dude.
me?
Yeah, dude.
Who that?
Oh my
if
God.
anyone chooses Sanguinian as their Primarch of choice, shut the fuck up.
Blonde bitch boy.
I have wings. Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
How do you have wings and a fucking booster. You can have both.
Well, his wings are useless. He can't fly with them. It's like a psyker thing that he can fly. So they're just purely for show.
So what does it do? Oh, it's like it looks cool. What does it do?
Sick, dude. Thank you.
It's like, no, can you fly? Like with a booster, with your wings, with those fucking wings that you like to gloat everywhere. Can you fly with them? Well,
Chaos Mortarian's just like, look, dude, it's not that hard.
Mortarian's model's so fucking cool.
Dude, the sickest.
One of the best models.
He was my favorite, like Primarch, current
like
Primarch.
Chaos.
Yeah, well, Chaos especially. But out of all the Primarchs, I'm like, I like the look of him, so I dove into him. Like, he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, he is a bitch.
Yeah,
he is a
super
bitch.
tragic about what
model,
they did.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Lore, ass.
Tragic.
Ass.
Yeah.
That's like that's why when the lion came back,
holy, oh my god,
loved it.
Yeah,
fucking loved it. The lion coming back and then him getting an equally dope as fuck model. Love it, dude. GW, I'll be completely honest, please don't cease and desist me. Right, please.
Yep.
Sometimes you make really ass models. Sometimes you make some really fucking shit models.
That's true.
Sometimes you make squigs. Yay. We like that. We fucking like that.
Squigs.
Sometimes you pop out with a lion. And that Lionel model, like, yeah, fair enough. You've got like the term, like you've got the helmet with whatever. Good Lord. Oh, like in my hobby, like journey, I really want to collect 3 models. Like I'll tell you my 3 and then you can tell me like the models that you want to collect. Painted or unpainted, doesn't fucking matter. I just want to have these. The lion, just
of
easy.
Course.
Fucking easy, the lion.
Hell yeah.
Second, Abaddon. I gotta have Abaddon. If I can get Abaddon with especially like that Terminator helmet that I showed you.
Big tusks.
Fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
Fucking love it. That's 2. Number 3, Nagash.
Ooh,
I've always loved the Nagash model. Just the fact that it stands so tall. And it's almost like, have you seen a lot of like the Catan models?
Actually, Catan are pretty sick. Yeah.
Like all the Catan models work off this towering figure with some sort of like wave like object or something like helping them up. Like the Lords of Time and all that shit. It was fine. Great. Nagash is just that guy. It's just like, I have a book that makes me better than you. Just one book? I actually have several books.
Actually, facts. Yeah.
What about you? Are there any models in like obviously Mortarian?
Yeah, Mortarian's definitely
without question.
Because there's no real canon Corvus Corax model.
I don't think so. You have a color. There is a Citadel paint. Corax white.
Oh really? Yeah.
I think I have that.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
No, I think Major Kill did release one for a time. Where it was like a demon version. That was pretty cool. I do like the Catan Void Dragon model. That's super sick.
Shards as a Void Dragon?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my god, Lord. Yeah.
Just something about it. Just the fact his pose is such a Dr. Manhattan pose.
Yeah, dude.
And you're like, you're cool.
Yeah, sick.
You're an
presence
asshole
about him, dude.
Yeah, you're a fucking dick to the entire Xenos race. Like to the entire like Necron race. But your model looks cool.
It's pretty sick. Pretty
props,
fun.
dude. You dap him up.
Yeah.
Instantly burns you. It's like, oh, fuck.
And then for the third, I think I'd go the Norn Emissary Tyranid. Like they're big boy. He's got the brains at the back. Oh my god, those things are sick.
Yeah. Dude.
I love them so much. Yeah.
I can't even fault you. The only reason I am okay with Tyranids is because their lore is quite good. And everyone, I mean, I don't know if you've paid attention to like the lore where most people just theorize that the old ones being genetically modified, mutated, evolutionized, de-evolutionized have become the Tyranids.
Oh, yeah. And they did, not all of them died in the War of Heaven. So they could have escaped.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
so
cool.
there's like a theory there.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I'm like Tyranids. As a Xenos race, I fucking love you.
Yep.
Again, heretic,
heresy,
brother.
Yeah. Heresy disclaimer.
Heresy, brother. Burn with holy fire.
Yeah.
Shit. Like obviously I like orcs and shit. Orcs, yay. In order of Xenos that I like. Orcs, Necrons.
Necrons is one that I keep forgetting about, but every time their lore comes up, it's so
Necron lore is so fucking tragic.
Oh, yeah.
They're shit, but it's so fucking tragic. And then obviously Tyranids come through.
Yep.
And then literally any other species that was ever mentioned in the books, games, whatever, even just remotely been like, oh, do you remember that one race that looked like a lizard?
Yep.
Like, yeah, cool. They all rank well above the fucking Tau. If you play Tau, you're a fucking communist.
Oh my god.
Like,
True,
it's just,
yeah.
I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're going to play Tau, all right, cool. You really read a lot of Marxism and you believe it,
And you think Pacific Rim is the best movie?
dude.
Facts.
You think, you don't even like the Power Rangers. You just like the end of every episode where they go into the mech.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you like Tau.
Honestly.
Tau are fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tau,
Yeah.
more like ow, because it hurts my ears every time you
Actually.
fucking say that name.
Actually,
I
facts.
hate the Tau.
Facts.
So anytime I go into like a Games Workshop in Brisbane,
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'll walk in and literally you'll see that all the Tau is always fully stocked.
Yeah.
But it's all
True.
like dust on them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
They've
does
been there
anyone
for
touch
that
that?
long.
I'm like, no one touches
Yeah.
that. I'm like, so why do you have it? We have to legally have some.
Quota we have to fill out, guys. So like, yeah.
Yeah,
honestly.
Tau suck ass.
Yeah.
But speaking of like Space Marines or just Warhammer, and you've played Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, are there any specific influences that you pull from when you're creating characters from D&D? Sorry, for D&D?
For D&D, yeah. I don't think so. No, I don't know. Being new to D&D, I struggle a bit with character creation.
Yep.
With one shots, and I wasn't sure how I was going to go with this.
Yeah.
Because majority of, all of my one shots and campaigns I've been involved with have been very D&D like orientated. So like
Yeah.
all in that fantasy realm.
Yeah.
I was
Super high fantasy.
Yeah. I was not sure how I was going to translate that into like something else.
Yeah.
But then luckily Warhammer is like just fantasy way in the future. So I was like, I can't really go wrong here.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, not really any kind of inspiration. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I find that a little tip for you as a DM, because DMs have to create hundreds of characters, a lot of NPCs, a fuck ton of NPCs, because literally at any point in time on the table, someone's going to turn around and be like, "What's that guy's name?"
Son of a bitch.
You little fucker. John. It's like, no, doesn't seem like a John.
What do you mean, dude?
John is, that's his name. And it's like, oh, okay. What's his last name? You fucker. Shit. So, like, you get really good at creating characters, I guess.
Okay.
Like NPC characters. But what I try to do for D&D whenever I'm creating a character is I always ask the first question is, what do I want to play? Do I want to play a melee character, a caster, whatever it is?
Yeah.
What do I want to play, and what do I think is going to be fun for this campaign or this one shot? Once I've done that, I try to find one motivating factor for me. So, for example, let's say I'm going to create a character for this one shot. If I had created someone, I would have gone, okay, well, who do I want to play? I want to play a super heavy battle mech type boy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a battle master fighter. Okay, cool. Where do I go from there? Well, let's create a little bit of lore, and then that'll give me a motivation as to why he fights and how he fights. Okay, if I want to make a battle master, I'm going to say he's like a grizzled old guy. He's a veteran. He just fucking hates the fact that he's still having to fight in order to clear his name as a rogue trader. Okay. Let's make him a battle master. Let's give him a glaive. Yeah, that's cool. That means that he can run around with a 10-foot weapon and, keep distance because he's old. He doesn't want things in his face. Oh, if he's got that, let's use a feat. Let's give him Sentinel. That means that he... And then, I kind of play along like that.
Right, okay.
So I kind of build the character actively as I'm filling his character sheet out.
Yeah. That's kind of what happened with this character for me, luckily, I guess. Yeah.
Did you have any lore with your character at all?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of got into the whole, they're very... Well, the Howling Banshees are very focused on, their... martial prowess in battle, and mine being a younger Eldari.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, oh well, she's come out to the rogue traders to help sharpen her martial prowess.
Yeah.
Eldar are very psychically in tune, so I was going to be like, well, I don't have any magic or anything, so I'll just go right out. I've turned all that off. I'm just focusing on my sword play and my combat abilities.
Okay.
And that was my character's kind of motivation for joining rogue traders, and
Fucking brilliant.
and so I was just all in on combat and
melee.
Yeah, that's it. Get
Come
me
here.
in there. What?
Get over here.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Do you find that with D&D, is there a certain way you like to approach D&D? Is there certain game type that you like to play? Do you like to play more melee characters, or do you like to play stealth characters, for
No,
example?
Definitely more melee focused.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm going to enjoy playing more of our campaign is playing the artificer, because I do like a little bit of magic, and I like magically enhancing stuff. I love weapons that can be recalled, like Thor's hammer and shit like that. Yeah, super sick.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Yeah, magical melee.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think, have you ever played like Dragon Age Inquisition?
No, I haven't.
Fucking
That's on the
brilliant
list
game.
though. It's on the list to
Brilliant
play.
game.
Hell yeah.
That is the reason why when I create super heavy melee characters, I always give them a glaive.
Yeah, okay.
Because of that cutscene from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Dude, man.
Hell yeah.
The glaive is such a good weapon.
Yeah.
Because it's 10 feet. And you can like cut people and do bleeding damage in Dragon Age. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's such like a hybrid weapon, like a halberd almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighter, yeah.
Basically, right. I think whenever I'm playing a character, I always used to play like a rogue because I love being real stealthy.
Yeah.
But nowadays when I create characters, I'm just like, fuck it, dude. Who cares?
Let's go mad.
Like I've created so many characters at this point, I've lost count.
Yeah.
So I would rather just, because as a DM, you get to test a lot of things.
I was about to say you'd have like the free range of
dude.
like
Love 'em.
everything. Yeah.
But
are there any like top 2 favorite characters that you've ever made?
Yes.
Are there any,
Yes.
What are they?
Jonah.
Yeah.
Jonah J. Jebediah Dex, which was a fighter gunslinger, rogue, multiclass,
Yeah.
who also got turned to a vampire spawn.
That's super sick.
Fucking brilliant.
Hell yeah.
So I was climbing up walls,
so wild.
just banging people from like 200 feet if I needed to.
Holy.
Dude, people could not get close to me.
That's just
I remember this one fight that we had, and we were essentially fighting a beholder, and we were in the cave of the beholder. So in a really bad fucking situation.
Yeah, say that's its domain. Yeah.
It was 3 of us in the campaign. I was the only one that never died. Technically, I got turned to a vampire, but that doesn't count. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
There's still blood in my veins, just not my blood. Yeah. But we walked in, and there's 2 of these, 2 of my guys just ran in, and they're like, all right, cool, we'll fight the beholder. And I'm like, I'm going to stay all the way back here, banging from 200 yards, running. And if I ever took damage, as long as it wasn't like holy damage or radiant damage in D&D, I could regain 20 HP because I was a vampire spawn.
Is that just like a passive thing you get?
Yeah, but sorry, not 20 HP, it was 10 HP as a vampire spawn, because true vampires get 20 HP if they don't get radiant or fire damage, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That is another class of character I would like to mess around with, because I really do like vampires.
Vampires are fucking cool. That was definitely one of my favorite characters. But one of my second favorite character of all time that I ever got to play was a NPC called Babushka.
Babushka.
Yeah. It was a coin that my players had found in the first campaign. So this was a campaign that you weren't in a part of.
Okay, yeah.
But unfortunately. But I have the campaign notes. You can read through it.
Sick.
It's 55,000 years of loose lore that I wrote.
Dang.
And it was over 96,000 words. Over 180 hours of playtime. Yeah. Huge campaign. Loved it. But this character was supposed to be just a throwaway NPC. They find a coin. They say the name Babushka. A magical tent appears. They walk in, restock whatever they need. They get the coin, they just toss it. They get rid of it, essentially. They're like, oh, someone else will find it. But they decided to keep the coin. And every time they walked in, I built this character more and more and more and more. And he was basically like this really rotund Middle Eastern guy who could not die. Because he made a wish with a genie who actually turned out to be the demon lord Mammon from the underworld, from the 9 hells.
Love that.
The god of greed.
Unlucky dude.
And so he's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I want to be the best merchant ever. And he's like, all right, cool. You are, but you're in this tent for the rest of eternity. He's like, fuck this. So he had a way that he lured Mammon in, killed Mammon, became the now ruler of hell. Sorry, ruler of that layer of hell, the god of greed. Yeah. But he couldn't leave that tent.
That's
fucking
pretty
insane.
fire. That's pretty fire. Yeah.
He was such a cool character. If you chat to anyone who played in that campaign, most likely like Callahan, if you chat to Callahan, he'll just froth over Babushka.
Yeah,
Babushka is one of my favorite characters. Yeah. The first time they met Babushka, this wasn't even planned. We lost 45 minutes.
That's it.
We lost 45 minutes because they just kept interacting with him. And I'm like, guys, you can fight the wizard. Yeah. And like, no, we want to chat with him.
There's more dialogue to be had over here. Like, what the hell?
but you're not doing anything of importance. I'm like, yeah, I know. This guy's fucking cool. I'm like, all right. So I'll reward you.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, those would definitely be my two top characters that I've ever kind of gotten into. Love them. Absolutely love them.
Yeah, hell yeah. Actually, question about the characters in that one shot we just did. Is there like a preset for like Hormagaunts and stuff?
No.
Like all the like Xenos enemies we fought? What's the process of like creating those characters?
So what I typically do is I always just go online because D&D has been around for ages. Typically, this is something that I commonly tell people when they're playing D&D, or especially if they're going to try and be a DM.
Yep.
Don't create everything.
Okay.
Don't think that you need to create everything from scratch. So I just did a quick Google search, and I found people who had already made stat blocks for Hormagaunts, for example.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
sick.
that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But there's way too much in there. I need to make something that's a little bit more simpler for me. So
It's not like you're going to get like a full turn of like doing hectic.
I'm not going to do
stuff.
that.
Yeah, fuck
because if you look at it, they have like leap attacks, they have charging attacks, they have, pack tactics and all that. I'm like, this is a one shot. I just can't have that. So what I usually do is I look at it and I go, okay, I like this part from that. I'm going to add my own bit. And I also like this part. I'm going to add my bit. I like this part. And so I create a little stat block like that. So technically what I do is there is this website, which is actually part of a D&D YouTube channel. I forget the name of it, but it's essentially D&D stat block generator type thing.
Right.
And so I actually made a really simple stat block for the Hormagaunts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was just following that the entire time.
Yeah.
I find that creating a very simple, especially for like a one shot, creating a very simple stat block is super simple to run. The simpler I make things, the more engaging the actual story is. Otherwise it's just me rolling and then going, wow, he's got a slash, but he also has a leap. What do I do? Oh fuck, what did you say? I think I have an invulnerability to that. I'm like, oh, dude,
I see.
fuck off. So when I create stat blocks for anyone, for example, I even made stat blocks for Caius and Atticus as well. But I make them super simple. So if I'm having them as NPCs that are also part of a fight and they're kind of important, I'll flesh them out a lot more and kind of give them a full stat block. But if they're not, then I only need the most important stuff. So what's their AC, what's their HP, what are their attacks, and what type of attack do they have. So I don't need to go into the details of, what are their 6 stats? Like what's their strength, dex? I'm like, I don't need that. For what I was running, I didn't need it. But if, for example, one of the Hormagaunts had done something, or let's say they were falling over the edge and I need to make an athletics save and you had
if I went to shove them off the edge of the outlet rather than kill
then
them.
I'd go, okay, well, I know that Atticus is much stronger than most people, so I'd probably give him like a +5 or a +6 to athletics. I can kind of play that a little bit more in my head rather than having to write every single thing down. So what I try to do is not overcomplicate things as best as I possibly can. Because I am an over planner. I love planning.
I burn some time there.
I had a one shot that I had planned. My first ever time DMing, I had a one shot that I had planned. The whole premise of this show is for a one shot. One and done. It took us 6 months to finish that.
Oh my god!
It took us 6 whole months to finish that.
That is a small campaign.
It was literally. It was 3 different floors. Each room had its own thing, and not only that, each drawer in the rooms, if there was a cabinet to pull, there was something in that drawer.
Holy! That's like
fucking insane.
You being like a game designer and like some wild AAA game where like everything is interactable. Well, that's wild.
I wanted
like Baldur's Gate,
dude. Exactly, literally. I wanted the world to feel super like alive, but I realized that most of that comes from you as a DM inviting people into a world where they can collaborate as well. So if I explain every single detail to you and I say, oh, the carpet that you stand on is fluffy, but not too fluffy. It's a medium texture. If anything, you feel that it is a nice texture to walk upon. Your feet, covered in mud, are staining the carpet. No. Like, hey, you got muddy footprints all over the fucking carpet, dude. Like, I can kind of say that and kind of move away.
Right.
I was like, this carpet's pretty soft, so your muddy footprints are probably going to last. So up to you what you want to do, right?
Keep those shoes on, sucker. Walk through,
It's not my fucking house. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I find that inviting people into the world is so much more fun than just being like, this is the world. You get to play in it though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It seems a lot more like flexible when you put it like that than like can you make the characters you play when someone else is DMing, do you add that like flexibility to that character? Because when I feel like when I'm making my character, I'm like, right, cool, I'm I'm a champion fighter. I'm like, yeah, cool, that's all pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Like there's nothing much I can add to it.
Yep.
But it seems a lot more like loose than that, like bits and pieces
100%.
everywhere.
D&D is supposed to be whatever the fuck you want to do, we can do as long as the dice allow you to.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah.
It's like, I cast a level 9 spell. I'm like, you're a level 1 wizard. Shut the fuck up. You barely can cast your cantrips well.
Yeah.
All right? Just give it a second. Stop it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm a wizard and I want to do melee damage. I'm like, you can, but it's going to be weaker because that's not your class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can do it. It's not going to be great. So,
because there was like with those howling banshees, they do have like a psionic scream, like they have an amplifier in their helmet or neck piece or something. So I was like, oh, that'd be a cool like ranged attack. I'm like, don't really know how to put that in there if that's even allowed. So I'm like, I'll just give it like a pistol. That's fine.
So what I typically do for like one shots, for example, if I'm playing home games and someone comes into me and they're like, hey, I'd like to do this and this, I'll actually homebrew a lot of stuff for people.
Okay. Yeah.
With a one shot, with the podcast, I tried to not know your character at all.
Yeah.
I kept like telling you, don't fucking tell me, don't tell me anything.
I was going to come in and be like, my character's name's Horace. I'm a Primarch of the... Hey, yo, what the hell?
Oh, well, I guess we're doing the Horus Heresy then. Yeah.
True,
Should we just get one of the books out? One of the 14 fucking books about the Horus Heresy, which was only 7 years, by the way.
Yeah.
Weird that it was only 7. Anyways, we're gonna get off topic. What I try to do for a one shot is make it a little bit looser. So I don't typically have to homebrew things for my characters or my players as much. I will definitely homebrew a lot more. For example, like that gun, that turret that you were shooting, that was homebrewed. The overall idea of the hordes, homebrewed.
Yeah.
Right. There was no specific horde mechanic in D&D that I was using. I was just homebrewing.
Yeah,
I was going,
fair enough. Yeah.
This is their attack. This is what they're going to do. But I'm going to have them attack individually. But I'm going to use that as essentially horde mechanics. So every time you were killing them, you were cleaving, right? Yeah. Because they had 6 HP.
Yeah.
They were fucking garbage.
Weak ass. Yeah. They're barely here. Yeah.
The Hormagaunts that I found online, they were like 9 HP, which is fine, but for a one shot, like I would rather you just have fun. I would rather you just start slaughtering people because I genuinely, when I was creating it, I wanted the first little battle to be over quick, and for you to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, is that it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking when we like landed. I'm like, well, there should be a lot more Tyranids, and they're either like backing up because there is something smart like a synapse creature like telling them to pull back. Like so, like that's what I was ready for. Like, oh, this is gonna be like a hectic boss, and then
What do you think of the turn when you, for example, when you just went straight and pulled the book and read Blood for the Blood God? What'd you think?
I was like, for fuck's sake, dude. and then it wasn't really until the psycho was like, oh, we need to get out of here. I'm like, yeah, right. And then I'm like, we ran over a bloody circle of runes. Yep. Oh, no, dude. Yeah.
But I think, so the way that I DM, and again, you'll probably get this over the years, but the way that I DM is very subtle. I give people hints because I don't want to just outright give you the story. For example, like Shutter Island is fantastic, fucking great film. You watch it the second time and you're like, how did I miss that? That's how I want to DM.
Right.
Like Interstellar, like how the fuck did I miss that the first time? Like exactly. Like there's this little part in Hayden's one shot, which was like I gave him a note. Essentially, he had found this note, right? And I'll see if I can pull it up really quickly. So the person who was asking him to investigate the house found a note, and the note just says, "Greetings from the land between hell and the unseen. Venture over the hill, and by standing quite still, you'll hear that the trees speak." Super simple. Like that is essentially the note that he found, which seems like a really weird note. If anything, the cadence is a little bit weird. The commas are really weird. What's the first letter of each line?
G. Oh, it spells ghost, guys.
Hey,
so, yo.
It wasn't a ghost. I'll tell you right now. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't a ghost, but it was enough to subtly have him afraid of ghosts.
Yeah,
So when he walked into the
eeriness,
house, he was kind of being real scared. And then during the Patreon episode, I was like chatting to him. And I'm like, so what did you actually think you were going to find? I was like, I thought I was going to find a ghost. And I'm like, read the note again.
Hey, yo, yeah.
Because
That's
I've done a lot of like psychology and read a lot of psychology books and not manipulation, but like behavioral change and shit like that.
as close as you can get.
Well, it helps with my
legal.
patient.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't stand up. I'm like, yeah, that's really weird. Can you actually just come over this really? I need to show you something over this side. And next thing you know, they're like up and walking, and I'm like, oh, so you stood up? And they're like, oh, unbelievable. I find that essentially using that for a positive thing rather than just like negatively manipulating people. But in D&D, I can fucking manipulate people.
Yeah, that's like the whole fun of it. Yeah,
I love it. Being a DM is essentially throwing something at a person, baiting the shit out of them, and to their face going, you won't, no balls, you won't.
And then they go and attack a super powerful wizard and get chopped in half. Yeah. Oh, hell no.
The most fun in D&D for me is being a DM. I just love creating stories and like bringing people into it, you know?
Yeah. See, I'm like almost the opposite. I super enjoy like getting thrown into a story and learning all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
And kind of playing that out.
Yeah.
And figuring it all out. Yeah, that's it.
Creating stories is the best part for me. If I can create a story that lasts long for a person, not only that, like obviously evokes a certain emotion, but they go back home and they're like, what could I have done differently? Knowing you couldn't have done jack shit. The roles are done. It's decided. Instant. You're out of here. But going home and being like, I could have done something differently.
Yeah.
You know?
A few nat 20s, it would have been fine. Dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A few nat 20s, everything would have been peachy.
Yeah.
I would have known for sure that was Cord.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, in terms of subtle foreshadowing, Caius, as you guys were on the elevator, was already having a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like that, but I thought it was a headache because of the like shadows and the warp that the Tyranids have.
Yeah.
And then they started coming up and I'm like, oh, we're getting down there. And then them not being there, I'm like, oh, that's like a synapse creature and that's like invoking it on him.
Yeah.
And then all like the heretic like symbols and shit. And then he started really panicking. I'm like, I swear to God, if he like explodes into some demon, I have to kill like my best friend. I swear to God, dude. And then when we were on the ship, I'm like, I need to knock this motherfucker out before he blows up. Yeah.
Because honestly, I introduced him as your friend.
Yeah.
One of your closest friends.
Yeah.
But
it was like the cracked out orcs, and then
I knew that between him and the horde, your attention would be so divided that you would start panicking.
Yeah.
I wanted you to panic.
Well, that's 100% what it was. I'm like, I crawled down the ladder to go knock him out. Like, that's an action.
Yeah.
Fuck, I climbed back up the ladder.
I don't do that. Are you sure about that?
No, I don't want. I'm not sure.
Is he gonna die? Please don't let him die.
That's
because
crazy insane.
Jumping into the pod and like jumping out and running through for the salamanders, like good moment.
Yeah,
fucking cinematic as fuck. What'd you think when Dreg and Freg showed up?
I was like, holy, those motherfuckers. And then as soon as you said they didn't have the blips on, I'm like, those motherfuckers took their shit off immediately and just jumped that elevator and went down balls to the wall. Like, these motherfuckers didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were just like, fuck the orders. Like, there's some shit to fight. Hell yeah, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because
I did have an inkling that they didn't die. It was like, there was a lot of gunfire. They could have just snapped and just died. But I was so tempted to like, you did say there's like not a lot over there. Like, if you go over there, there's going to be like remnants of either them or the Tyranids to confirm. But then you're like, there's a time I'm like, motherfucker, dude.
Actually, speaking of that, I will run right back over into the notes and go over there. So if you had gone to investigate the bodies, you find that there are no bodies at all. So the elevator was completely smashed, no bodies whatsoever. Yeah. So the way that I had it set up, which was weird because I don't think it, like I alluded to it, but I didn't fully specify. Yeah. And I could have drawn it out a little bit more, but I was like, no, that's a perfect way to end. They died, but the demonic incursion meant that they were now no longer orcs.
Oh.
They were possessed.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason, because when Caius comes out, he's still holding his head.
Yeah, he's
still in pain.
He's still struggling.
Still has a headache.
Right.
And so
shit.
the line was, Caius is still holding his head. Yes, we are forever in your debt. Yes, we are forever in debt to you. But Dreg and Freg, how did you escape the horde?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it ends, and then there's also the aspect of them being orcs and just a wild bullshit. Like
100%. The fact that they use the warp but don't know that they're using the warp. And they're just
because I'm like, they could like, I don't know how wild the war is.
Yeah.
And like orcs do have technology to shoot themselves into the warp.
Yes.
So I don't know if they like landed and then like one of their shits malfunctioned, they just teleported into the warp. The incursion came out and they came out like guns blazing.
Oh shit, that's our exit.
Yeah. Oh shit. And look, our boys are in the distance. Hey, that's our ship. Oh,
you're
let's go.
fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we might just wrap it up there on that note, actually.
Sounds good.
It was always such a pleasure playing D&D with you. And I'm
Always a
so
pleasure to be
happy.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
so fucking happy that you're part of the fold. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
leave now.
What a shame, guys.
Give me your keys.
Please help.
Please, yes. I've got to go home.
Yeah.
Say, no.
You're gonna upload this episode, right? So like people can hear my cry for help. Please.
No, I'll edit this out. It's like, oh, fuck.
Fuck, I forgot about this.
Your phone number is 0. No,
Whoa,
Hey,
hey,
whoa,
yo,
whoa, whoa, shut the fuck up. You leap over the table.
Too good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll wrap it up there. I hope you had fun, and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.